Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday, and welcome to this educational presentation where today we're going to talk about the correct way to trade breakouts. Now, I would assume that just about each and every one of you have traded breakouts before. It's a very common way of trading. You wait for something to go out of a zone or to break out to the upside or to the downside, but most often you're not really that happy with the results. Let me show you why. Let's look at what the common definition of a breakout is. Breakout refers to when the price of an asset moves above a resistance area, and a breakdown refers to when the price of an asset moves below a support area. Now, do you see anything that these two definitions have in common here? The first is support and resistance. So obviously, breakouts are defined around the areas of support and resistance, and this is the way most traders would assume to trade any type of a breakout. And this, in my opinion, is why most breakout methods really don't work, because support and resistance are very subjective. One trader's support is another trader's resistance. And it's very hard to find something that all traders have in tune together. For example, let's look at this older chart right now in Lulu. Someone looking at this would say, okay, well, I'm going to buy this, but I'll wait till it breaks this resistance right here, okay? Because I don't want to jump the gun and get in too early and then have it go straight down. So you're excited about this. You think you'll have a nice buy here, and then some news comes out or some event happens and you miss it all entirely because you say to yourself, well, I'm not going to buy it right here, right? It's too high. This is most likely where I think about selling it. So you say, well, I'll wait till it comes back down to this level. I'll buy some on the pullback and then it'll go back up. Okay, well, look what happens. You see, this is why breakouts based on resistance really don't help you that much. And the same thing works if we look at a breakdown. Okay, let's say you're a long mRNA, Moderna, okay? It's going down. You say to yourself, wow, this is not a very good position. And as it goes up, you feel much better about holding on to the position. But then you think, well, where am I going to get out? Where should I exit this? Or if you're more advanced, where do I even go short? Well, you say there's major support right there where it stopped going down. So that's going to be my stop loss. If it goes below that, I'm going to sell or get out, okay? So lo and behold, it does go below that. And it finally does touch and close below. So you exit your position with a loss. And then weeks later, it's right back up higher, okay? So it really didn't break down at all. So we ask ourselves, is there a breakout indicator specifically designed to identify true breakout and breakdown areas? Well, we think there is. In fact, this is what we're going to be talking about today. If we look at this older chart of ILMN, we'll show you how this indicator actually generated a breakdown sell area right here before the stock broke down, and then another breakout right here at the beginning of the year. So welcome. We're going to be talking about the correct way to trade breakouts today in this educational presentation. And everything you're seeing today is displayed coming from our platform, the PTS Primo charting platform. This is the educational platform I designed with ProTrader Strategies that identifies these secret breakout areas. So thanks for joining us again today. My name is Steven Primo, president and founder of Specialist Trading. I've been trading now 47 years. I started my career on the floor of the Pacific Stock Exchange, been trading now 47 years. As I said, I was on the floor for 16 years, and 9 of those years I was a specialist. Specialists made markets in roughly about 60 stocks. So during my tenure, those 16 years on the floor, I saw straight up markets, straight down markets, sideways markets. And on top of that, I traded just about every technique, system, or method you can think of. Even if you think that something is brand new today, most likely it's just been rebranded. It's been around before. So I know what works in terms of consistency, and I know what doesn't work at all. So that's why about 15 years ago, I teamed up with ProTrader Strategies with one goal, and that was simply to educate traders. And so you'll see that in today's educational presentation, where we really want to educate you so that you can become a consistent trader. Now, as always, we're required to share this with you, so please take a moment to view our disclaimer. I'm going to show you a lot of performance results today using this indicator to identify breakouts and breakdowns. But please remember that we can in no way guarantee that any of the results I'm about to share with you will be repeated in the future. Also, please remember, since we are an educational company, all examples are strictly for educational purposes only. Now, if you haven't done so already, please feel free to follow us on Twitter or X, whatever you'd like to call it, the website formerly known as Twitter. I post different information on a daily basis A lot of displays of signals our strategies have generated. Also, little bits of financial wisdom. So lots of great free education on a daily basis. Please feel free to follow us on Twitter. Okay, now I know a lot of you go to webinars. You like to listen to the speaker speak and tell them about what his trading style is or methodology. And I know a lot of you like to see what they think of the market or what they think is going to happen with this particular stock or what they think is the best time frame to trade. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you won't find that here at Specialist Trading because, as I stated, we are an educational company. Our job as an educator is not to force feed you signals or tell you what the best stock is, but to teach you so that you can do that on your own. You see, a good mentor really teaches you how to trade. He doesn't trade for you. Think of any endeavor, any hobby. If you paid for a coach or some educator to teach you how to do that, say you wanted to learn a different language, and you say you want to learn French and they teach you how to speak French. Well, that's great. That's what a mentor should do. But when you go to travel abroad in France, you're not going to take your translator and your teacher with you so that he can speak for you. You're going to do it yourself. But for some reason, this is the way we think trading should be. We subscribe to a website or we buy some product from an educator, but then we allow him to send us buy and sell signals or to spit out orders and tell you what to buy or sell on a daily basis. You really haven't learned anything. And that's why 85% of all traders fail. So my goal is to teach you, not to trade for you, but to teach you how to trade with a specialist edge so that you can make your own trading decisions. This, in my opinion, is the only way one can become a consistent trader. Okay, you have to really release all those ideas you've had before about doing and following what someone else does and make your own decisions. This is the same way I was taught some 47 years ago, what has helped to sustain me now for 47 years, and hopefully I can do the same for you. Now, a few announcements before we begin. Please, we have a good crowd here today, a large-sized crowd, and I want you to ask me questions, but if we take too much time to ask questions, we'll be here far too long. I think I have roughly about 150 slides to share with you. So oftentimes, if you just wait for the next slide, your question will be answered. But if you still have a question, please wait till the end. I promise I will get to it at the very end of today's class. Also, this is being recorded so you can watch it over and over again at your own leisure, okay? All right, with that stated, let's begin today's educational presentation. Now, remember we asked the question in the beginning of the presentation, what if there was a breakout indicator designed to identify true breakout and breakdown areas? Well, we feel there is. It's our tool called the PSBI. This is the Primo Secret Breakout Indicator. So let me show you some of the highlights of this particular tool. It's fairly recent. We just introduced this in the last year or so. It's based on the concept of everyone out of the pool. Now, this was a concept I first learned myself on the floor of the Pacific Stock Exchange, and I talk about in my book, Secrets of a Stock Exchange. And that's really where you decide when all of the sellers are out, that's most likely and a high probability that a breakout is to occur. And then when all of the buyers are out of the pool, that's most likely in the high probability when a breakdown is to occur. Now, it's designed to identify these true breakout areas that we spoke about earlier. Now, it's a proprietary indicator, but we've taken all the hard work out of it for you because it's based on a number of different requirements, and we don't want you to spend your time trying to meet all those requirements, and then you miss the signal. So what we've developed a color block around the area that is called the secret breakout or breakdown area. Now, you can apply this color block to any market and to any direction. You don't have to specifically say, well, this is only good for the British pound on a 4-hour chart, or this is only good for trading E-minis on a 15-minute chart, or stocks on a weekly chart. Doesn't matter. Any time frame in any market you trade, you can apply the PSBI. Now, it can also be used as an exit and stop and reverse tool. We know that a lot of traders do not like to go short. So if you're long a particular stock, you can use the PSBI as your exiting tool because it has a really high probability that the market is going to reverse directions. And then lastly, it has the ability to scan for nightly setups. You can scan on our platform the PSBI for nightly setups so you can know the next day what the areas are that are most likely either going to break out or break down. Okay, let me share with you the trading process. Remember, the PSBI paints the color block around the secret breakout area to the upside or to the downside. Let me show you what I mean here. Remember, we looked at that older chart in Lulu where we thought there was resistance here, but we missed it entirely. And then it continued to go higher and higher, right? Well, this is what you would have done on our platform. Okay, this is the PTS Primo charting platform. If we look up here in the green strategy tab with all our methods and all our strategies, we want to look and locate the PSBI right here. Now you click that on. And if you were thinking about buying because you were looking at resistance to go long, what you would do is once the drop-down menu appears, click on buy area because that's what you're interested in buying. All right. And you would have seen a green color block right here at the very lows. You wouldn't have to wait for support and resistance to be broken. You could simply wait for this color block to be broken. Once price trades above this color block, doesn't have to close above there, simply has to trade above. That's your entry point. And you could have taken advantage of all this big move up. You wouldn't have missed this breakout at all using the PSBI breakout tool. What about Moderna? When we looked at that, we said, okay, I'm long this, and when it comes down here, I'll get out because most likely it's breaking the support. And then what happened? It really never broke it, kind of went down for a week and then went right back up to even higher. All right, so you were thinking about selling. Let's show you how you could have exited your long position using the PSBI and had a better result. Once again, on our platform, click on PSBI in the drop-down menu. Since you're interested in selling, now you click on the sell area. And as you can see, we have this reddish kind of magenta block here. Once price trades below that, well, that's where you would exit, okay? Now, traded below and went up for 2 or 3 days, but look what happened right after that. So you would have had a much better exit at this level as opposed to waiting for down here. You would have captured more points. And remember, we looked at the older chart of ILMN, okay? How could we have generated a breakdown here and then a breakout to the upside here? Oh, once again, using the PSBI. There's the sell and the buy breakouts. Click on the PSBI and look at it had these already auto-generated on the platform. For your sell area, here's the red block and here's the buy block. So this is how trading can be really simple but highly consistent by applying the PSBI. So let's look at some recent PSBI examples, okay, to show you exactly how the process took place and how simple it is to apply this process on our platform, the PTS Primo charting platform. Now, the following PSBI breakout and breakdown signals were generated in the month of January 2024. So everything you're seeing just happened within the last 31 days. Just to show you how you could have taken advantage of this, let's say I had given this presentation a month ago and you became a student of this. These are all setups and signals that you could have taken advantage of in the past month, all right? All right, let's look at AMAT. Now, obviously, we have a downtrend right here, right? If you think this is having a good chance to go to the upside, to break out to the upside, once again, come up here to the PSBI on our platform, click it on, and in the drop-down menu, you're interested in buying, so click on and see if there's a buy area. And once we see that, yes, there was a buy area right here. So even though we're in a drawdown, it's telling us that most of the sellers are out of the pool, that most likely a breakout will happen at this point. See, we're not looking at support and resistance. We're not looking at moving average crossovers. We're looking at proprietary tools that tell us whether the sellers are still in or out. And most likely the sellers were out here, all right? So we're not going to just jump in and buy. We want to wait for price to trade above this kind of greenish block here. Doesn't have to close above, just has to trade. And on the very next bar, we gapped up. Now, I know a lot of people don't like to buy on gap ups and initiate a position, and I understand that. So you had the choice whether to or not. Remember, you're in charge. We're not telling you, no, you have to buy it here. You're in charge of your trading, not us. So we want you to really make sure that you understand this process and make your own decisions. So here was the breakout right here. You could have taken this entry and in the next 4 days, captured potentially 18 points on the breakout. Let's look at another example in BIIB, okay? Obviously, we're in an uptrend, right? Making higher highs, higher lows, but you think possibly it's a little bit too high. Click on the PSBI, click on the sell area, and you have the reddish block right here, okay? Now, it doesn't mean just sell because it's in that block. We're going to wait for it to trade below this low right here. And we give you the prices on this as well. We tell you exactly where that level is, as you can see right here. On the next bar, it traded there. Even though it didn't close there, it traded there. So that's your entry, either to exit your long position or to go short. And in the next couple of weeks, it dropped 15 points, okay? This was at the very beginning of January. Here's another example at the very beginning of January. The first week, a PSBI breakout entry was generated in Workday. 27 points coming into the end of this month. These are all examples that happened in the month of January. Now, this is on the 3rd of January. A breakdown was generated. You could have entered right here. 25 points coming into the 3rd week of January, an ENPH to the downside. Now, remember, if you're long, you could use this as an exiting tool and save yourself a loss of potentially 25 points. Now, here's a chart in DWAC. All right, obviously, this is an inexpensive stock, but it looks like a directionless market, right? Why would anyone want to do anything here? Well, remember, we're not listening to what most people listen to, conventional wisdom. We're only concerned with what our proprietary tools are telling us based on market behavior, not based on interest rates, not based on what some guy says on TV, not based on economic reports or even earnings. It's based on market behavior. The only thing you should be listening to, because that's what you're trading, right? The behavior of the market. Now, if you thought this was going to go up, you could have easily just clicked on the PSBI buy area and see that this entire time it's been in the buy area the past week, but it hasn't broken out yet until right here. That was your entry on the 16th of January. And look what happened, 40 points in the next week or so, all right? Potentially you could have captured that. Obviously, some news came out or some event that caused this to go higher. I have no idea what it is because I stopped looking at news 47 years ago. So why would I care? I knew before that news came out that this was breaking out due to the PSBI breakout entry. You see, trading is really simple when you let go of all these conventional things that are supposed to work, but really don't show high levels of consistency, or they're too late, they're too subjective. It's much better to focus on what the market in front of you is telling you as opposed to some guy on TV or some earnings report. Here's a more recent chart in Lulu now. Okay, let's say you were long the stock and issued a breakdown entry where you could have exited this or gone short if you'd like. And look what happened, 45 points coming into the middle of January this past month. Remember, everything happened within January. You could have taken advantage of all of these trades, either by purchasing or shorting the stock or purchasing options. Once again, the choice is yours. You are in charge as to how you want to trade. This, in my opinion, is the only way one can become a consistent trader. All right, CDNS, okay? We had a secret breakout area violated right here. As you see, we had the entry roughly around 264.35, 35 points coming into the 3rd week of January. In coin, all right, we had a breakdown right here occur the 2nd of January, the very first trading day of January, okay? You could have gotten short or sold your position because the stock fell 50 points in the following 2 weeks. URI, here was a PSBI breakout. This happened around the 11th of January, okay? You could have gone long and then taken potential advantage of 105 points to the upside in the next 2 weeks. How about Boeing? Okay, some bad news happened in Boeing. Well, it's funny how we got our students already short or out of the stock the first week of January because the PSBI generated a breakdown entry. And look what happened. The stock fell 60 points, assuming on some bad news report or whatever. How about LRCX? All right, another entry happened here. This was on the 16th of January. All right, the stock did not close above the breakout entry, but that's okay. All we need for it to do is trade above that area, and then it went back right back down below. And on the next bar, it even went lower. Now, this is not cause for concern. Sometimes it takes a day, sometimes it takes a week for the signal to really kick in. But look what happened after that. Potentially, you could have captured 135 points in less than 2 weeks. And Tesla, we also have seen that Tesla's been going down. Well, what if you would have gotten out right in the first trading day of January? Because that's when the PSBI generated a breakdown, all right? We didn't have to wait for confirmation or some guy on TV telling us this stock is going lower. We knew the very first trading day of January to exit the stock. And as we've seen, the stock fell 70 points coming into this week. So let's go over this process, okay? Let's look at a chart of ASML. All right, obviously, we're in a downtrend, right? If you're thinking that the downtrend may be over according to your analysis, or you just want to check to see if there's a secret breakout area being generated, all you have to do is click on the PSBI. Click it on, and in the drop-down menu, click on Buy Area. And yes, there was a secret buy area being generated. So rather than think we're in a downtrend going to be going lower, you're saying, well, I'm going to watch this. Maybe I'll buy some options, maybe some spread strategy with an upward bias, but I have to wait for it to trade at these levels here, okay? That's all I have to do. Well, on the very next bar, it did. So that was your entry point right here on the 18th of January, just about a week ago. And look what happened. In the next week or 5 days, 6 days, you could have potentially captured 140 points. See, trading is really simple when you get out of your own way. There's no reason to have a million indicators plotted. There's no reason, in my opinion, to be looking at news and all these guys on TV or going to all these blogs or trading rooms. Once you have a tool that helps you listen and know how to trade market behavior, trading becomes really much more consistent. Now, we know there are other people that like to trade other markets. No one says, well, I only trade stocks. There are other markets to trade. Let's look at the currency pair markets. An uptrend in the Australian dollar, but the same process applies. If you think it's possibly going too high, you click on PSBI, and yes, there is a secret breakout area being generated. But remember, we're not going to go short or sell until we trade below here, and ultimately it did. This was your entry to sell the Australian dollar. This was on the first trading day of January, and it immediately fell 250 pips in the next 2 weeks. If you're an intraday trader of currency pairs, well, here's a 4-hour chart of the dollar yen. All right, once again, it's been in a downtrend, but there's a secret breakout area that was generated on the 14th, and you actually would have gone long if you were trading this. Look what happened to the dollar yen in the next 3 days, up 350 pips. That's potentially $3,500 per unit. Now, here's a chart of gold, XAU USD, all right? Doesn't look like much has been happening, but just to show you what's happened and actually occurred in the last 3 days, a breakout entry was generated on the 28th, just 3 days ago, okay? So this is a very recent chart. Now, here's the only chart of today's presentation that wasn't included in the month of January, okay? This is a chart of the spiders, the ETF that represents the S&P 500. Now, I just want to show you this going forward as to what may be happening right now. This was the last breakout entry that was generated, and this happened to be in the first week of November, 3 months ago. So 3 months ago, the PSBI generated a breakout to the upside, and we've all seen how high the market has gone. All right. Now, someone could say, well, when is this going to roll over? When is this happening? Well, just to let you know, nothing has occurred in terms of a trigger yet, but this was generated within the last 3 days. So just to let you know, we may be getting a little toppy. The trade may work out, it may not. Remains to be seen. Okay, let's review what I shared with you today. Some of the highlights of the PSBI. It's based on an everyone out of the pool concept. This concept I talked about in my book, where breakouts don't really have that much to do with support and resistance, or with moving average crossovers, or with some type of Fibonacci levels. They really have to do with an everyone out of the pool concept, where the sellers are out of the pool. That's more often than not that a breakout is about to appear. And when the buyers are out of the pool, the high probability that a breakdown is about to appear. So it's designed specifically to identify these true breakout areas by coloring a block around those secret areas. Now, it's based on proprietary indicator, so we've taken the hard work out of it for you. Trust me, you don't want to sit there with a calculator and calculate all of the measurements and all the things that need to be in the requirements. All you have to do is click on the PSBI indicator, and it will tell you automatically if there's a setup or not. You can apply it to any market, any direction. I just showed you tons of different directions. I showed you tons of different markets. It can be used as an exit. You don't have to use it as a place to go short. You can use it to get out of your longs or stop and reverse if you like. And you have the ability to scan for these nightly setups. So you'll know the night before whether there's a breakout setup or a breakdown setup in any particular market you're looking at. So ask yourself, do you think the new PSBI can help your trading for the remainder of 2024? This would be a great way to get on board and get your trading in the right direction with the PSBI. All right, let me tell you about a great attendee offer we have for all the good people today watching this presentation. We have a great discounted offer. This is our new PSBI tool introductory special. This is, remember, a non-conventional breakout tool that generates a lot of setups, and you can apply it to both breakouts and breakdowns in any market and any time frame. And you can scan for daily setups. But included with this offer, we're going to be sharing with you in just a few minutes and this great discount, we're going to also be offering you the PTS Primo charting platform. Now, this is every display you saw and every signal you saw was generated using the platform. We showed you how simple it is just to click on the PSBI on the platform, and you can automatically see these auto-generated breakout areas. Now, here's our bonus for you today. One of the bonuses, actually. We're going to throw in a full year absolutely free of the PTS Primo charting platform. That's an over $1,700 discount, okay? Now, with the platform, you just don't get the PSBI. There are a host of different tools, techniques, and methods that I've accumulated from my years on the floor. Techniques and methods you won't find anywhere else because I've taken them from the floor, and you won't find it on any of the other major platforms, okay? Now, obviously, you'll get the PSBI secret breakout indicator, also with the scanner. You'll also get our enhanced buy sell line. This is a tool I developed to tell you the overall trend in just a matter of moments. A strength of trend tool telling you how strong a trend happens to be, if it's still full of steam or running out of gas. Auto-generated signals and personalized tech support. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of what's offered on the PTS Primo charting platform that you'll get for a full year. But here's one of the best things that is included with the PSBI tool. This is the PSBI price projection. This is included on the platform, and you'll only find it on the platform. For instance, here was an example here of a sell signal in January, once again, of DDOG. Now, the setup hadn't occurred yet. Let's say you're thinking about maybe buying some puts or going short, or maybe you're thinking about, well, maybe I'm long the stock, and how low should this really go? Well, on our platform, once again, we have another tool specifically associated with the PSBI. And what you do is click it on, and it's called our price projection. So since you're thinking of selling, you click on Sell PP for price projection. And this will automatically display. This is where, according to an algorithm, it's telling you most likely where the stock should go. Now, it's not written in stone. It's not telling you to buy here. It's not telling you this is where to cover your short. But this is a high probability benchmark of the area in which the stock should go. So that's good enough for you. So you say to yourself, okay, when the stock opens the next day, it opens lower. So either you exit or you go short. And look what happened. It went right there and then right up. Okay. Let's look at another example. This one in KLAC. This was also in January. We had a secret breakout area right here. You're thinking about going long, but you're not certain as to where this might go. Once again, click on the PSBI. And since you're thinking about going long, you would, in this time, click on the buy price projection. And you'll see this green line appear here, okay? Once again, this is a benchmark of telling you where, according to an algorithm, most likely where price will go. Now, you can use this as an exit. You can use it as a benchmark. It's up to you. But let's say you decide to go long the stock when it breaks out. So you go long the next day right here. And look what happened. It went right up there in the next week or so to that algorithmic point. And this is what happened this past week in KLAC. So this is an amazing tool. And here's the best thing. You will only find PSBI price projections on the PTS Primo charting platform. And guess what? With this great offer, you will get the PTS Primo charting platform absolutely free for 1 year. That's just one of the extra bonuses included. Okay, so let's break out this discount for you, okay? This is our introductory PSBI tool. Now, this is a great tool. We've had it roughly just for about a year now, and we've had tremendous success. It's one of our most popular tools, and it is expensive. The normal price is $49.95. We're going to discount, if you want to pay in full, down to $44.95. You're going to save $500. But here's what we're also going to do. We're going to offer you payment plans. So for a fraction of the cost of that $49.95, you could just put down a fraction of the $49.95 and establish a payment plan with Pro Trader Strategies, my sister site, and you can be up and running as early as today. So you don't have to come up with $44.95. You can come up, once again, with a very, very small down payment and establish a payment plan, and you can still be in. And either way you decide to go, either with the special discount, the 10% discount, or with the payment plan, you'll still get a full year of the platform absolutely free. So this is a really deep, deep discount. And trust me, from the people that have taken this course and who are now trading with the PSBI, they tell me a year from today, you will have wished you became a member of the PSBI course. It really is that valuable. It really helps. And if you're not convinced yet, remember, you talked about joining up and signing up with us on Twitter. Go to our Twitter page. We have a lot of examples of them with the PSBI of buy and sell signals recently in the last week or so, where you really could have taken advantage of this tool, okay? So here's how to take advantage. Contact my sister site, Pro Trader Strategies. They're in charge of all the discounts and all of the pricing. You can call them directly at area code 310-598-6677. There is absolutely no obligation. They're there, happy to work with you and giving you some type of quote if you'd like to establish a payment plan, or give you any more information about the platform, about tech support, about data usage, and things of that nature. Now you see the link on the very bottom. That's the link that will take you to the info and sign up page. It's not a live link, but you have to copy and paste that link onto a browser and it will take you there, okay? I promised I would answer any and all of your questions now that we've come to the end of the presentation. So if you happen to have any, please just go to the chat box or go to the question and answer box, whatever you prefer, and type in your question. I will be more than happy to answer them right now. Someone is asking, when does the course start? Well, this is not a live course. You're going to be getting a video of the actual course along with a detailed instruction on how to apply it. So the live course happened when we first introduced this about a year ago. But this is still a really informative video. And on top of that, there's a lot of questions that we're asking in the course. You will be able to see the interaction and how the information was passed on. But this goes over everything with a lot of live as well as a PowerPoint presentation. So you see a lot of examples and you'll be able to really fully understand it. Someone's asking, what if I don't understand it? Well, if you don't understand it, don't worry. When we stated in the past, let me just backtrack here. I said you can have right here, educational correspondence. This means each and every one of my students will get not a live link, but they will get my private email address. That's what I was trying to say, my private email address. So if you have a question, you can contact me whenever you'd like, okay? Any questions, anything you'd like to know about the actual trading, something doesn't make sense or whatever, you will get that information. And as well, you can contact tech support with any questions concerning the video or concerning the application of the platform, okay? If I sign up for this, another question, how soon can I get the program? Well, actually, if you sign up now, most likely you can get it as early as today. If you establish, let's say you establish a payment plan with Pro Trader Strategies, you call them up and you think, okay, this is the way I want to go, and put together a small payment plan and then establish the payments. The tech support will most likely be contacting you today and setting you up with the platform, and you will receive the link to the educational presentation, sharing all the information. And you could actually be emailing me later on today with questions if you like. That's how fast and quick the process can be. So yes, it is very quick and it won't take a lot of time, okay? Okay, if there are no other questions, I just want to say thank you. Remember, don't hesitate to give Pro Trader Strategies a call at 310-598-6677. There's no obligation. If you're still on the sidelines and you just want some more information, don't worry. They're there to work with you and they're very flexible. They can establish a payment plan or at least give you a quote so that you can think about it. My only advice would be don't think about it too long, though. This offer is probably only lasting until the weekend. And then after that, we'll go and step into another presentation, okay? So give them a call, absolutely no obligation, and they'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have, okay? Now, as we take one last look at our disclaimer, I hope you learned something today about the PSBI. This is a very popular tool. We've had tremendous success with it. We have students trading this around the world in all markets, currency pairs, crypto, as well as stocks and futures. So come on board. join the class with the PSBI, and I look forward to all of you becoming students of mine with this great PSBI breakout tool. Thank you so much for attending. I wish you all the best of luck. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.